Hey guys, welcome to a replay analysis where we're looking at gold/plat level gameplay. And we're looking at our boy Bobby over here. And we're going to help him figure out how to play some ZvP. He's like, Vibe, what the fuck? Help me out with ZvP. I don't know what the hell's going on in the early game. Please give me some info. And he only wants to look at the early game, so we'll kind of just like go over the early game for him and break that down instead of doing the entire game. We'll kind of speed through the end of the game, but we'll do that. We'll focus heavily on the early game. So like right there, that's an example right there. You didn't larva cap, which is good, but you waited for like almost 3 seconds to spin that, and there is no reason to not have done that. Like, basically, when your overlord is like spawning soon, when it's like almost done, you should literally just have your larva selected already and just be holding down the drone key. And the second the overlord spawns, it's like instantly fucking double drones are made. This shit matters because you're now, just by default, you're now behind like 6 minerals, just for that one little bit of just AFKing your larva for a couple seconds, because you're missing out on like 3 seconds per drone of mining time right there. And if you think about that, what if you're like, what if at one point you were like at 45 minerals and there was no drone turning in a mineral immediately right now, right as you hit 45, and you could have made a drone right then because you would have had 50, because you would have had that 6 difference. But now let's say you have to wait an extra 2 seconds again for another drone to finally make the turn in to go you beyond 50 so you can make the drone. That's another 2 minerals you're behind. Like, again, these things aren't it's not like the one time, oh, you lost the game because of that. But that shit adds up. And every time you do shit like this, it fucking slows you down. You got to be way more proactive about trying to macro and not waste time. And I feel like that's also a sign for the future. Like right now, you're doing it again with this larva. Unless you're going to go expand. If you 16 and hatch it, that's fine. But if you 16 hatch it, again, now the hatchery's late. So 16 hatching, what you want to do with a 16 hatch is you want to be at 180. 180 is the magic number to have. Get the fuck out of your main base and go to the natural, because you'll generate 120 minerals from your mineral line to that base location. So you'll be at 300 as you arrive, which means that faster larva, like if you get the hatchery down and it finishes faster, that's faster larva that you're going to acquire out of the natural now too. So this is a very late natural. Yeah, do not rally the egg like that ever. You're starting to run over there at 270. This is only appropriate to play like this if you go 17 hatch and you rally one of those 2 eggs. Also, it would only make sense if your egg wasn't delayed as well. So now if you think about it, not only is your hatchery delayed because you sent the egg over there, but your eggs were delayed because you waited for like 3 seconds to spend your larva. So now you're not going to be making your hatchery until you're at like fucking 370 minerals, which is fucking really late. And then you make the hatchery now, and you arrive. Do you see what I mean? You arrive, you just made a drone, which is 50. You have the hatchery trying to be made right now, and as you arrive, you have 20 plus 300 plus 50. You're trying to actually start the hatchery when you have 370 minerals. It is fucking super late. It is super late. You don't want to fucking delay shit for no reason like that. And also, I mean, this pylon, if you would have pulled, like, let's go look at everyone's vision for a second. So the probe gets here, right? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about, though. But like, look at the difference, okay? The probe just now, this inner ring right here is the size of the hatchery, by the way. That's like where it would need to be, not be body blocked, because a hatchery, it's not like it's that fucking big. It doesn't, it's not like a probe has to not be inside that box right there. It's like the inner box of a hatchery is how big it is. Okay? Now, the point I'm trying, like, this is just, I'm not going to guarantee you could have got the hatchery down, okay? But it is a point that is relevant to talk about because we just talked about this. Go back like 2 seconds. Okay, we're like slowly going into it. You have minerals about to be turned in. Now, if you had a drone right here, right now, if you sent the drone properly to get to the base, to arrive at the base right as you had the money to do it, and you didn't fuck up your other larva, which cost you like 6 minerals, because it was 2 drones being late by 3 seconds each, that could have made the difference there of that turn-in. And if you had a drone there right now, you could be spamming build hatchery and like getting ready to do it, and you could have very possibly built a hatchery right before we blocked you. I'm not going to say that this, again, this does not end the game and it makes the game unwinnable for you or anything like that, but efficiency could have made this hatchery go down. And inefficiency creates problems that you just are, like the percentage of you having problems in the early game are only going to go up when your efficiency is shit. It is relevant. It does matter, because I'm telling you right now, you could have totally gotten this hatchery down if you played proper from the start of the game. And that doesn't even include things like if we talk about you stacking proper patches with better resource allocation. Like, for instance, you have 2 drones on this patch right there, and you've had 2 drones on this patch the entire time, and you have 1 drone on that patch when it should be reversed. This patch should have 2, and this patch should have 1, which would increase your money. Because I want, like, think about it like this. It's something along the lines of about every 10 trips, you get a bonus 11th trip for free on a close patch compared to a far patch. Or like maybe like every 8 trips. It's a little bit closer. So your drone has to run a little bit less distance to the hatchery to turn it in and then go back. Just by a little. It's not massively closer. It's a little bit closer. So it'd be like saying this, okay? It would literally be like this concept. Imagine if you had a relay race where it's like 10 fucking guys on 2 different teams. So you have 20 guys in total, and they're all like, here's the starting line. And it's like, okay, what's the objective? Okay, so in lane number 1, the objective is they got to run 50 feet. And in lane number 2, the objective is they got to run 45 feet. You see what I mean? If we're assuming that every single guy that's going to run this relay runs at the exact same speed, which drones do, by the way. The drones are all the same. And then we're going to have them race. The one who goes a shorter distance is going to get the race done faster. And it's going to add up over time to where, like, you do this 9 times and you get a 10th one for free. And if we look at your minerals you've mined so far, that is 9 trips already. But that one drone has already made 9 trips on that patch. So at this point, he's going to get 1 bonus turn-in for free over if he was on a long distance patch. So if you had 2 drones on this patch instead of 1 drone on this patch, you would have had another drone getting another 5 minerals for free. More or less. I hope that makes sense, though. It's fucking important. That's why I literally stressed the idea of drone stacking your close mineral patches so many times in Beta GM for people, because it fucking matters. So, like, you didn't stack close patches. You have 3 drones on that patch right there, which is a far patch. And you have 1 drone on this patch, which is a close patch. Like, this mineral line is so fucking inefficient. And you fucked up your larva. If you played efficiently, 100% chance this hatchery is going down before the probe blocks it. Again, it makes your life easier. Also, that's a really early gas, by the way. If you're going to go speedlings, this is fine. But if you're doing Beta GM, I don't know what your build you're doing. But if you're doing Beta GM, this is a terrible gas. We'll talk about it when I see what you're doing. But I would recommend in the future as well, try not to take triangle location bases. Try not to do that. This third base, it's a third, which is great. But You would probably want to take, excuse me, you'd probably want to take this as your third instead, mainly because when you take triangle, like, so if you're like, Vibe, what do you mean by triangle? This is 1 point of the triangle. This is 1 point of the triangle. This is 1 point of the triangle. That's a triangle third. You want to take a line third instead, a straight line. And the reason why is because when you take triangle thirds, you give your opponent so much fucking advantage when they go air units. So with Protoss, that gives him an advantage now with either a Warp Prism or anything out of the Stargate. Because he can abuse the fucking cliff constantly. And that's going to suck ass for you trying to defend that. And the odds are very high of people going Stargate in StarCraft 2 now. Nowadays, especially in Legacy of the Void, the odds of a Stargate versus a Zerg is like fucking 80% chance. Like, it's very high. There's no downside either to taking this third if it's not a Stargate. There is a downside if it is a Stargate with this one, because you allow him to abuse a cliff. So it kind of sucks. So keep that in mind too. Try not to like cuck your base locations for no reason when you could have just taken that one. Okay, so your pool is not started. You have plenty of money to do it. Okay, so you're taking your spawning pool when you have 300 minerals. This is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. I know he's making a cannon, and it sucks that he's making a cannon, right? You're like, fucking cannons. But you could actually deal with this cannon a lot faster if you had a spawning pool. But your spawning pool is, the later your spawning pool is going to take to get made, the longer it's going to take you to handle something like this. And here's if you're like wondering, Vibe, well, fuck, dude, what if I don't kill the cannon? And then what if, how am I supposed to saturate my third base or my natural, which is now at a third base location? You could literally do this. Get a spawning pool, make drones. You could literally just make drones. You could make a queen. You could make a second queen. And when your first queen is done, and let's say you only made drones, and let's say you have like 28 out of 16 on this mineral line, because you don't want to send drones through this cannon to die repeatedly. Here's what you could do. Grab your queen, walk it down the ramp to like right there, which is going to be in range of that cannon to get shot at. Do not walk it into the cannon entirely. You don't want to throw the queen away. Just walk it into the range of being shot by this cannon. And then at the same time, grab like 14 drones or like 16 drones and have them right click a mineral patch at your third base. So the cannon will shoot your queen like 4 times, which won't kill a queen, by the way. A queen has 175 health and a cannon does 20 damage. So it's 80 damage your queen's going to take right there, essentially. That's not even including the fact that your queen has armor and your queen has regeneration on its hit points because it's a Zerg unit. So realistically, it's going to take probably like 74 damage, not 80 if we do the math on all of that. The point I'm trying to make, though, is it's going to have more than half of its health bar. It's going to be still very high health after you let it get shot in the face like 4 times. And if you run your drones to your third base, as you get shot by your queen, or your queen gets shot by the cannon, your drones would transfer through and go down to this base and mine from it, and not get shot at all by that cannon. Now, if this Protoss makes multiple cannons, then this might not be the best idea, and we can talk more about that as we go. But if he only makes one cannon and then is like, I'm going to make a Nexus now, and I'm going to make a gateway, and I'm going to go Stargate, or whatever, you could totally do that and not give a fuck. But again, now you're going to do it super late because your pool is extremely late. You're starting your spawning pool. I'm not even shitting you. You are starting your spawning pool when right now it should already be like 20 seconds in production. Or like 25 seconds in production. It should already be like more than halfway done. Like you're basically, your spawning pool should be finishing at 2 minutes. Like maybe like 1:55 to 2 minutes. So another thing you can do too is you can have another overlord, or this overlord even. Like I don't mind that you brought this overlord over to this base right here to see if he's gonna cannon it. I think that's great. That's totally fine. But you could have another overlord over here, just spotting to see what else he does with these cannons. Like you could just like stay out of range of the cannons and just kind of scout and see, are you going to make a gateway? Are you going to make a unit building here? More cannons? What are you doing? That cannon is irrelevant. I want you to know that that cannon is fucking irrelevant. That cannon is annoying for sure. But if you had a queen stand right there, that cannon wouldn't even hit it. That cannon would. And you could be like this. Drones, right click right there for move command. They'd run past the queen and go right there. And as soon as they're like in this area right here, you could just right click a mineral patch and they would go up and around and go away. Or you could, if you really didn't, if you're like, you know what, Vibe, too complicated for me. I don't like that. I want easier shit to do. Okay. Put 15 drones right there. Set a queen right there and then go like this. Queen, walk right there. Drones, right click the patch, and then both cannons will shoot you on your queen. Let your queen get shot like 3 times by both cannons and then run it away. And by the time your queen gets shot by 3 cannons, your drones would be like right there. And you might get shot by this cannon like once or twice on your way out, and it wouldn't even kill a drone because it takes 3 hits for a cannon to kill a drone. And then you'd go over here with all your fucking drones. Again, not all of your drones, but you'd have more drones. You're not even spending your fucking larva again. Do you recommend sending the drones in this situation? Absolutely. If this was me, I would send my drones over here. Again, not all of them. You have, right now, again, you have 19 drones at 2 minutes. No. Bad. Bad boy. You should have like 23. 22. You are under-droned as well. And if this guy was going to make these cannons really fucking fast over here, I would, if I were you, what I would do is I would send like half the mineral line. I'd be like, okay, let's send 10. And let's avoid both cannons. I might lose like 1, maybe 2 drones because let's just say hypothetically your queen wasn't out yet. And you could run them over there to your 3rd base. Also, another thing you could do. If your spawning pool wasn't so god-awfully late, you could not send drones at all. You could make a roach warren immediately after your spawning pool, and you could just make roaches out of your hatchery that's being cannoned right now. And you could fight whatever the fuck is here with roaches that spawn as larva spot pops out, you make a roach. As another larva pops out, make a roach. As another larva pops out, make a roach. And then just stop at like 3 and turn them into ravagers. Here's another thing you could do. If you had a roach warren that was quickly after the spawning pool, it could already be started right now. Okay? If you watch where this Protoss builds his buildings, there are holes in the build a lot of times. And what you could do, if this guy makes just 1 cannon, if he makes just 1 cannon, okay? You could kill the cannon. And you could not lose the roaches. You could like have a roach shoot the cannon like 4 times, and the cannon will fuck up the roach a bit too and run out of range and then turn it into a ravager. When it goes into a ravager, it'll get full health again when it comes out of the cocoon, and it'll be good to go again. And then you could corrosive vial the cannon and finish it off. And you could do this with all of your roaches. If he makes like, let's say 4 cannons over here, you could just kill the pylon out of range of all of the cannons. On that side. If he stacks his cannons like that, you could AoE right in the middle of them and AoE them down with ravagers. At this point, you can't pull your drones. At this point, you cannot pull your drones. Canceling your hatchery is fine because you have no answer right now. You're not pulling drones, which you can't anymore anyways because it's too late now, because by the time your drones would get here, the cannons would be finishing. And you have no fucking units. You have no roach. Zerglings aren't going to stop this. I'm just going to throw it out there. Zerglings are not stopping that, especially if you're making them 2 at a time. And if you make lings here in the main base and run down your ramp, you're going to lose like half your fucking lings on the way over because cannons will 2-shot lings. So your lings are not stopping shit. But roaches and ravagers could totally stop this. But you don't have access to any of that. You don't even have a queen started. So canceling your hatchery is the only option. You're giving yourself no options. You're basically having problems and you're giving yourself no tools to deal with it. Like he's giving you problems and you're not giving yourself the tools to deal with it. You're also not scouting his natural. Scouting his natural is very important because you want to know, does this guy have a fucking natural or not? That's important. So like right now, You have no fucking idea if this Protoss is going to keep cannoning you and maybe go into like double gas and go into like a quick Stargate. Or if he has a Nexus that's like halfway done right now, then most likely he has no gas because he's done mineral, 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 only minerals. He can't afford having fucking Stargate and net expansion and cannons and pylons. You can't do all that shit at once. It's impossible. You don't have the economy for that. So the only way you can afford an expansion right now while cannon rushing you on 2 bases at the same time is if he doesn't have gas. So this is huge to scout this right now. I hope you do, but that's important. Okay, you're making a Rochorn. It's fine. That's a fine response. The only problem with your response of a Rochorn is that it's so fucking late. It is so late. And now you just scouted. He took a natural. Good shit. Good shit. Now, what did I just say? What did I just say? Remember this. Look at your scout. Natural. Great scout. I'm really glad you did that. If he has a natural, there is no gas. If he doesn't have a natural, there's a high chance of gas, and he might go for like a really quick Stargate. Now, if we look at Protoss's base, under that assumption, you just scouted his base. He just started gas. That's exactly what we would expect. There is no gas in this game right now. This guy does not have a core and a fucking Stargate on the way. He does not have tech on the way. He has 0 gas. So, how should that make sense to you, and what the fuck does that mean for you as Zerg? The fact that you're double gassing is very scary, because the only way this would do anything for you now is if you're going to take a really quick layer and go for like a Nidus, and you're going to kill him immediately. Because if you're going to go double gas defensively against someone who has no sense of reinforcing their cannons, you are cucking yourself again. You're going so fucking hard on defense with gas to make like mass Ravagers or something when you don't even need to, because he's not going to reinforce it with units because he has no gas. And you're not spinning your larva at all. You just made 3 larvae at once, and you're still at the 19 drone mark that you were at about a minute ago. For a full minute, you have done nothing with your larva. Until right now, you just spent 3 larvae all at once, 10 seconds ago. 11 seconds ago. So for 50 seconds, you did nothing with your larva. It's fucking brutal. Like this scout right here, I don't know what the point of this is. This doesn't accomplish anything. Is this a roast me or is this a coaching session? It's a little bit of both. I'm just trying to give this person as much information as possible. But because like this early game, this is gonna be a problem every single game with gameplay like this. Like this is never gonna. If a Zerg player does not respect time, this is going to happen to Zerg every single fucking game, and you're going to let Protoss get away with this shit against you all the time. But, like, here's an example, okay? What the fuck is the point of this drone? This drone is on this, like, shift move around the world command right now. And why? What does this do? It does nothing. Because we already know what the Protoss is doing. That one Overlord scout that we had a second ago already told us everything. And this comes from a sense of understanding that a probe and a drone mine at the same pace. It's not like a probe mines at fucking like jackpot levels and a drone is like a fucking poor boy that mines like enough to like barely get by, and he's like eating fucking scraps over there. They mine the same pace. Okay? Now, if we understand that concept, that probes and drones mine at the same pace, we can look at allocation of investment, and we can go, okay, 2 cannons and a pylon. 2 cannons that he did make, by the way, and a pylon. A nexus. A forge. A pylon. A gateway. What does this mean? If that doesn't mean anything to you, it should. You should learn these things. It's important. But what that means is 300, 400, 700, 800, 950, 1050, 1200, 1600. 1600 fucking minerals invested into the early game that we scouted with an overlord. Okay? Now, how much did you invest into the early game? 200. 225. 525. This doesn't even include probes or drones. And then after you canceled that base and ran your overlord away, you took a roach warren, you took a macro hatch, you took a second gas, you took more overlords, blah, blah, blah. You could also argue that overlords are allocation because we did include pylons here. So instead of saying 525, it would have been like 825 because you had like 3 overlords. So 825 is what you had invested versus 1600 from Protoss. And how the fuck can Protoss afford 1600 minerals worth of shit? Well, 2 reasons. Number 1, he canceled a couple cannons. So he doesn't get full refunds there. He gets 75% refunds on 300 minerals of that. Also, the other part is you have a gas and he doesn't have a gas. You may not realize this, but when you only have like 16 workers and 4 of them become gas because you have to spend 1 to make it and spend 3 more to saturate it, you're literally sacrificing a 1/4 of your fucking economy to get gas. And what is the point of this gas? And not only do we have 1 gas right now, you have 2 fucking gases. You have 2 gases. This is 8 fucking drones out of your 20 fucking drones that still exist that have been dedicated to gas. This is like a fucking 1/3 of your economy, basically, more or less, has been allocated towards your gas. It's like a little bit more than a 1/3, but you get the point. This is fucking brutal. This is rough. What are we doing with that gas? That's why I said, like, the only thing that would make sense here is if you all into him. If you just went straight layer and went fucking Nidus Worm. Because your economy sucks dick right now. It's fucking awful. His economy doesn't because he's been going pure minerals the entire time. Until right now. Until, like, literally right now. He's starting to mine gas finally. Now we're making a bunch of roaches and ravagers. Once again, this is time. Your roaches have been standing here with their thumbs up their ass for a while. We're on a faster replay speed, by the way. If I say a number, you might not believe it. But look. Your Ravagers have been sitting there since 358. They finished at 358. It would genuinely take you 3 seconds to go from where you are now on creep to shoot a cannon on the cliff. Or, again, on creep. The ramp is covered in creep, by the way, all the way down to right there. Go forward and crucibile something. You could be crucibiling either one of these cannons by either 401 or 402. And they just fucking sit there. And then you move forward, and then you sit there. This has already been over 10 seconds of chillin'. We're now at 15 seconds right now of chillin'. Now we're about to be at 20 seconds of chillin'. You could have killed a cannon in this time. Corrosive Bile's cooldown is 7 seconds. And it would have taken 3 rounds of 2 Ravager Corrosive Bile to kill a cannon. Takes 5 Biles to kill a cannon. You've been sitting here for 20 fucking seconds of doing nothing. And 21 seconds is how long it would take you to get 3 Biles. You also do not need a Corrosive Bile the center of the cannon. Corrosive Bile the edge of the cannon. Because Corrosive Bile's range is 7. The cannon's auto attack range is 7. But the difference between a building and a unit is a building is based off the center and a unit can be done off the side. So, like a cannon is going to be like, you know, oh, it's got 7 range. It can shoot 7 range from the center. But if you Corrosive Bile the side, it's more like 7.5 because you're shooting the side of it. And it's like the 0.5 from the center to the side difference. So you won't even get shot if you shoot the side of the cannon. And Corrosive Bile hitting the side or the center does the same amount of damage either way. Why is Vibe going so hard here if this is Platinum League? Bro, I'm telling you shit that can make you play better. And I'm telling you every mistake that you're making. This, again, the person who I'm talking to right now, by the way, is not the person asking this. This is someone else in Twitch chat saying, lol, why is Vibe so hard on this guy if he's Platinum? He fucking wants info to get better. And everything I'm saying could be fixed. Every fucking bit of this game has been a fucking shit show and could be fixed. Could be made better. If I tell you how to fix 100 mistakes and you fix 6 of them, well, you're going to get better. Do I expect every single mistake I'm telling you how to fix to be fixed? Absolutely not. Now, if you think that I think everything I'm saying is going to go in one ear and be reciprocated and be like, I'm on it, Vibe. I will fix that. That's now, consider it fixed. Fuck no, I don't think that. I don't think a Platinum player is going to fix every detail I'm saying right now. Absolutely not. But I do think that what he's doing right now, or with what the information that I'm throwing out there, I think that 10% of it could be fixed. And then I think that if you were to watch this replay again in a week from now, 10% more of it could be fixed. And then a week from that, 10% more of that again could be fixed. And this one replay could be utilized for 6 fucking months. And suddenly he's like, wow, I fucking fixed a lot of this shit and I'm playing so much better now. If I literally just give him like half-assed, like, okay, just macro a little bit better, try to expand more, try to be more proactive with your units. Like, it's like fucking, there's no detail here. You don't really hit the nail on the head of like info as to like what matters. And no, there's no emphasis and people don't really pick up on that, I feel like, or they're just like, I don't know. Like, I guess I did this okay. Like, there's literally, I feel like a lot of times people in Platinum walk away from a game in Platinum and they go, I played that pretty well. And then if you go back and look at it as a player who's a higher level, you're like, no, you didn't. And here's why. And they're like, wait, what? If you don't have a gauge or a fucking measurement of if you actually played well or not, and you're just assuming you did, you have no fucking idea. And a lot of times, 99% of the time, it's dog shit. It's so fucking true. But you could fix it, and it could be better, ultimately. So I want you to know, at this point in the game, in Platinum, you could still make a game out of this, okay? In Platinum. But I want you to know that if you do anything that I fucking said earlier properly, and you actually get to a higher league, because you're having a more solid early game, you're fucking dead right now if you don't all in. If this was a higher league, you cannot be on one base getting ready to start a natural at almost 5 minutes on double gas with a layer and macro out of that. This is unmacroable for a higher level of a game. That's fucking fact. Okay? Like, you cannot look at this game and go, oh, this is totally fine. This game is beyond fucked up at this point in time. And if you don't all in, you've already lost. At a higher level. But again, at Platinum, you could get away with this. Vibe, he just needs a response. Alright, Captain Cave. I need you to shut the fuck up right now is what I need, actually. 10 minutes. You don't understand how to teach somebody, and I'm not going to argue with you. You can come back in 10 minutes. If you want to, if I haven't just offended you. But if I offended you, I don't give a fuck. Okay, so now your 2 queens should be back injecting. You have some active tumors, which is great. You have active tumors, which is great. But I'm glad you're attacking because you definitely need to. If you don't attack, you are so dead. You're super dead. So you're attacking. And definitely want to use the Overseer here. I would say, like, it could have been an Overlord as well. But you want to have vision of the high ground. You want to definitely have vision of the high ground. And corrosive biling the, you know, like, you want, so in this situation now, it's like, okay, well, how do I micro in this situation? Well, number 1, you're on a clock. Because if this Void Ray comes out, this attack is over. And number 2, you have shit in the way here that's going to make this clock take longer. I would say, if I were you, the best thing you could do right now would be cross your fingers, hope to fucking God this guy doesn't know how to make a battery heal a pylon, and kill that pylon, and then secondly, hope to God that this is an Artosis pylon, that it powers everything. Because you want to unpower that Stargate as fast as possible, and then also, in turn, if that would be amazing if it also unpowered all the cannons and batteries. And then you'd want to push forward, get rid of the Zealot and the Stalker ASAP, and then get rid of any probes in the area that would try to rebuild a pylon, and if they do start one, fucking kill it. You are gambling right now. Again, like I said before, this position is so fucking bad, and you're so behind right now that you need a miracle to make this work. But if this was a normal situation where a Void Ray wasn't popping out as you got here, and you didn't already see a Stargate even done, like, this is what the base should... So if this was a normal situation where you went for a Roach Warren early, like we talked about, where you maybe, like, your spawning pool wasn't late, your Roach Warren wasn't late, and you, let's say you did some Ravager pressure to your opponent really early, what you'd actually want to be getting to the base and seeing would be, like, a core that's done, or finishing. Like, the core would maybe not even be done yet, but if the core is done, it would just have finished. So if the Protoss is going to start a tech unit or a tech structure after the core, it would either not be started yet or just barely be started. Like, the start, if there was a Stargate here and you got here as it started, it would be like 10% in production or like 5% in production. It would have just fucking started. And at that point, you could choose, if you wanted to try, to corrosive bile it and deny it, because you can't repair it while it's building, or like with a battery or anything. You could theoretically kill it if it's like fresh as fuck, and just kill it immediately when it's like low health. Or work on killing the cannons and the batteries. Whatever is in your range first. If you kill a battery, that's great because you deny battery energy. If you kill a cannon, that's fine because you also burn all battery energy if there are any out there available. And again, if the core was like just finishing as you got here, the odds of batteries being finished as well are low or 0 because it takes a core to be done to make a battery, and a battery takes 29 seconds to make. So realistically, you'd probably see just cannons. So you could just kill the cannons. And then, you know, cannons die, then you move forward and auto-attack other things. Do not ever auto-attack cannons and let your Ravagers die. But I just want you to know as well, the response of... This is... So ultimately, everything I just said is how you'd ideally want to micro a little bit, okay? And that is relevant if you're going to micro. But in Platinum and Gold, you don't even want to put yourself in a situation to have to micro this. If you're gonna make Ravagers, you'd want to do it off of 1 gas, and then just stop making Ravagers after 3 Ravagers. So you could gradually clear out all the cannons the way we talked about how you can bile the edge of it, and then just very gradually, very easily get rid of the cannons in front of your base. Don't overinvest into double gas 6 Roach Ravager type shit. And then feel like you put yourself in a position where this has to like kill your opponent or do some serious damage. Otherwise, you're dead. So like right there, he's actually not repairing the pylon. You might have actually killed the pylon and denied the Void Ray, possibly. But now that the Void Ray's out, you have no choice but to leave. You're dead if you stay. Every Roach and Ravager will die if you stay. See how he actually didn't repair the pylon once, and you actually unpowered that Stargate. It would have worked. You actually might have won this game if you microed properly, the way we talked about. This guy let it happen. And if that pylon never finishes that Void Ray, and there's only one Stalker and one cannon, and you get rid of those right after really quickly before another pylon gets built, you could theoretically deny this entire base. But again, you were in a fucked up position from the start here. Ever since the way you dealt with the cannon rush and you just never made a pool, your whole game was fucked up. So now, what does he have to do here? What is the proper response in this position? I'm sure that's what the guy I banned for 10 minutes would ask right now. Just tell him what he needs to do right now. Here's what he needs to do. He needs to go down to the gas station. And then he needs to just think to himself, I want to buy an icy because I feel like having a day that just sounds relaxing. And I want to have a nice sugary drink that is an icy. And then suddenly a gust of wind blows and he gets hit in the face by a piece of paper. And he takes it off his face and he goes, what the fuck? What is this? It's a lottery ticket. And it's unused. And then suddenly a TV turns on that's outside in the gas station. And then some guy on the TV goes, and tonight's lottery winning numbers are, and he reads off every number on your ticket. And you're like, wait, what? I fucking won. And then no one in the area is around to claim it. And it's yours. And you just won $1 billion. That's essentially what the Berserk needs to do in this game. To continue the game forward to win this game now. Does that make sense? But if we're gonna tell you what you actually need to do, here's what you need to do. Make drones, and a lot of them, and cross your fingers that your opponent never attacks you, so that you can actually have a game that you can come back from. You have no choice but to make drones and make a lot of them. So if I were you, this is what I would do. I would take all of my drones off of the gas. I would not mine any fucking gas anymore. I'd be done mining gas. I would immediately take that base. And then as soon as I could afford it, I would either take that base as well or that base. You need to fucking like expand a lot right now. And just make drones. Try to drone up at the fucking minimum to like 70 drones right now. At minimum. But ideally more like 85 towards maybe like 90. And then if you haven't died still yet, you can make a Hydra Den and just go into like Roach Hydra and then play a game from there. There is a chance your opponent will literally have his head up his asshole and do nothing for the next 4 minutes. That is very possible because again, this is Platinum and people do shit like that in Platinum all the time. But if you don't do what the whole like go crazy on drones and stop fucking mining gas thing, and you sit here and we're looking at the game clock and we're at 8 fucking minutes. And you're still on 37 drones because you've only made 13 drones in the next like 2.5 minutes. If that ends up being the case, you're still in the same position that you're in right now, which is you're fucked. You fucking have a horrible economy. And this gas is only furthering that it's going to remain horrible. And you have zero chance. You have zero chance of killing this Protoss on your current tech choice. You have zero. Fucking zero. There is 0% chance that your Roach Ravager Zergling double gas is going to be able to kill a Protoss on Cannon Battery Stargate. It's 0. Because the only way it would work, because that actually, like, Roaches and Lings could totally beat a Protoss player on defensive static D with Stargate. It totally could kill it. But the difference there, the only way that would work is if you had 145 supply, not 45 supply. If you had already 75, 80 drones, and you had like triple the fucking supply of your opponent, then yeah, it would work. But not if you're sub-supply of Protoss. Like, you're not going to fucking kill 4 Void Rays and 6 cannons and 5 batteries with 8 roaches. That's just not going to happen. You would need fucking like 48 roaches or something to do that. So again, how does the Zerg get out of the situation? Fucking make drones and stop mining gas. Make drones, stop mining gas. This gas, all it's gonna do is bank up and pool up and do nothing and delay how fast you can expand and make drones. And do you remember what I said about people always making hydrogens and shit way too fast? We're making a hydrogen on 32 drones right now. Queens are really good. And they also don't cost gas. Also, Carmack, I fucking love you, man. I just want to say, people that are watching this on YouTube, they're probably going to be like, Jesus Christ, Vibes being so mean right now. I'm only being mean because I had someone backseating my coach style the whole time, and he's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, that's not what you should tell him. No, I don't think so, Vibe. That's not what you should be saying right now. And then I basically told him to suck a fat cock. And Bobby, otherwise known as Carmack, is a fucking delight. This guy is great. He's like, I fucking love learning. And he still is. He's great. Carmack, you're fucking great. I appreciate you. You're a good, like, you're a great guy. You definitely have the mindset of I want to improve, not I want to be a douchebag like the other guy I banned a second ago. But yeah, you definitely need more economy, man, for real. You need to expand more. You definitely need to expand more. You're going, like, the biggest problem most people have in lower leagues is that they prioritize gas way too much, way too fast. You don't even need gas at all right now. And you're making hydras as well right now already. Yeah, your economy just develops way too slow, is your biggest problem. It's just, no, you have no... Do you remember what I said? Do you remember what I said? I said at 8 minutes, the Zerg would have 37 drones. He would only make 13 drones in 2.5 minutes. We're at 754, and we're at 43 drones. Those were fucking close estimations. So instead of making 13 drones in 2.5 minutes, you made 6 more than 13. So you made 19 drones in 2.5 minutes. That is still not enough. Okay, you just made some more just now, thank God. Just like a little bit more. But just I know the game we just talked about. We just talked about a game where I played a ZvP on stream. And then I know that has nothing to do exactly with this game because there was no cannon rush. But I want you to know, in that game, we still made 8 larvae worth of aggression. I made 16 lings in that game, okay? 16 zerglings. That is 8 larvae. All you needed to defend this, extra from what I did in that game, was 4 larvae of roaches. And why is it 4 larvae? 1 larva for a drone to make a roach warren. 3 larvae to go to 4 now to make 3 roaches, which could become 3 ravagers, which is 4 larvae in total. You needed to invest 4 larvae worth of shit to make roaches. And then you could have made drones. A lot of drones. And just to throw a number out there, in the game I showed you guys, I was at like 67 drones while spending 8 larvae on units. I was at 67 drones at 5 minutes and like 30 seconds. Like 5:20. So the point I'm trying to make here is, about 3 minutes earlier in the clock here, I had 67 drones. Your problem is you don't fucking drone. You just don't drone. You are broke as a joke all game because you don't drone. And you also don't use your larva. And I think it's because you're confused as to what to make. All you have to understand about Zerg is, this is like the gold, like if I were to give you a fucking scroll, okay? If I was like this is what everybody wants. Everyone's like, Vibe, stop fucking telling me what to do and just tell me how to magically become GM. I don't give a shit about learning the fucking fundamentals. I don't give a shit about actually understanding the game. Just fucking tell me how to be good. Okay? I'm fucking tired of your bullshit. Just fucking tell me that one phrase that's gonna make me good. I know you got it. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. Fucking micro this, macro that. Fuck off. How do you be good? If I had the fucking phrase that was like, okay, here you go. Like the phone, read it. Read the text. Read the gospel that's going to make you a god. It would be this. Make AD workers and then make your fucking army. Stop fucking around before 80 workers. That's all. Holy shit. I've seen the light. 80 workers. And then a ray of light shines on you. 80. Not 25. Not 16. Not 32. Not 40. Not 47. Not 51. Not 55. Not 62. Not 65. Not 69. Not 71. Not 77. 80. 80 workers. And then we can fuck around with army. Make as little army as possible, sub 80. As little as possible to not die. And in a cannon rush situation, that can be as simple as saying make 3 Ravagers. Just make 3 Ravagers. Hold on, guys. The guy is back again. That's telling me everything I'm saying is wrong. I gotta ban him again for 10 minutes because we're not done with this replay yet. 10 more minutes, and then I'll talk to you because I don't feel like having to yell at you again while I'm making a YouTube video. 80 workers. 80 workers. That's all you need. Everything we said earlier in this game is very relevant as to how to handle situations. I gave you so many fucking tips on how to deal with cannons and make drones. How to make a queen and send your drones across. How to make your roach warren and your spawning pool on time to make drones so you can make minimal roaches to make drones with. How to expand properly to protect your drones. How to get a natural down on the right time with using your drones better to then make more drones. All these fucking things we said were relevant on how to optimize droning. Captain Cave, you motherfucker. Suck a dick. But at this point in time in this game, as you said, which is what you wanted, how do I make my early game better? That's how you make your early game better. Now, from this point, we are going to now just times 8 it and just, yeah. And we're just going to run through it really fast now. Now, it doesn't really matter because the game is kind of already decided. If you were playing someone in like Masters League or Diamond League, you would already be fucked. So, again, you would be dead by now because you're just taking too long to drone. You were taking way too long to make drones. Because, like, we're talking, you're at 11 minutes, right? You're at 11 minutes and you have 58 drones. You just don't drone. You have to drone. Yo, Love Heart, right back at you. Again, Carmack, you're a gem. You wanted analysis, you're getting analysis, and I'm giving you a lot of information. Obviously, I use profanity, guys. I think that's probably where there's some type of a misconception sometimes. People think when you use profanity that you're angry. Because I do use a little bit more of a serious tone, but I'm not even fucking mad. I'm not even angry at you, but I do swear, I guess. I'm a profanity user, and some people like get butthurt by that. They're like, oh my god, he said fucking make drones. Make the fucking drones. That means he's mad. He's angry at me. No, it's just how it's how I speak English. But yeah, you're so now at this point in time, you're fighting against disruptors with Roach Ravager. Like, yeah, you're doing about as best you can here. Every time it gets shot at you, you run away, then you run back into it, and they shoot another one, you run away, you run back at it. You just gotta weather the storm here. The main problem is Protoss has a bank that's over 10,000, and you have a bank that's worth like 1k, 2k. So you're just way more starved than he is because your economy has been weaker than his. At this point in time, though, all you need to do to win the game is go kill expansions. Literally just go kill expansions. So that every time you kill army, it's hard for him to replace it because you reduce the fact that he can have more money. Also, another thing you could do right now, if you're like, fucking A, this army is so fucking annoying. Something you could do right now to make your life just easy would literally be add some Broodlords into your army and just have Broodlords with like Hydras. And then just have like 15 Broodlords with like 30 Hydras, and every time he shoots disruptors at you, back up, and then a move forward. Every time he shoots disruptors at you, back up, a move forward. And if you had Broodlords instead of Roaches, the odds of you getting hit by a bunch of fucking disruptor balls would be a lot lower. Do not fucking go Vipers here. This is gold, platinum. You're making your life, again, just like I said, just make drones. And then fuck around with your army. You're overcomplicating the early game by being like double gas, double hatchery, fucking 6 roach timing attack on the base, void ray defense, cursed bile, some shit, quick layer, spire, make 2 corruptor. Overcomplicating. Vipers right now, the last thing in the fucking world I would tell you is, okay, what I need you to do now is, number 1, make enough Viper. Number 2, babysit those Viper. Number 3, fill up those Viper with energy. Number 4, target fire every disruptor at the right time and pull the fucking Ruptor forward when it shoots a shot at you so that you can cancel its shot and to kill it before it blows you up. Like, that'd be like, it would be like the difference of saying this. And again, this is when caveman fuckhead's gonna come back and be like, see, you could have made it easier. It'd be the difference of saying this. If you use Vipers here, it'd be like me telling you a complex equation on how to defuse a bomb. It's like a 10-step process. When I could just say go Broodlords in a move, and that's like me telling you cut the green wire, and you're like, there's a green wire, cut it, and the bomb's like poof, diffused, and you're like, oh, poof, that was way easier. Broodlords require not much from you. They literally, you can just fucking A-move them. You can literally just A-move, and then you could just completely disregard the entire disruptor process altogether, because it's a fucking air unit. And disruptors will also kill the disruptors really heavily, really fast. If he does exactly what he's doing right now, which is he moves them forward to try to throw out disruptor shots. You would just straight up kill them before they even do anything. It would just be a better version of what the Roaches are already doing, essentially. And then you could have a bunch of Hydras behind them. Again, like 30 Hydras and like 14 Broodlords or something like that. Could be your army. And then the Hydras could just always reinforce the Broodlords behind them so that if the Protoss ever tries to blink forward or he has a couple Void Rays or whatever, Hydras will help push them off the Broods and kill them. Ravagers are not the goods right now. I'm not even kidding. You don't even need to really micro. If you play, I'm telling you right now, this is such a fact. Another gospel detail for you, okay? This is another gospel detail. If you ever have to micro in Platinum League or below, your macro sucks. That is a fact. The only time I would ever say you might have to micro in your games in Platinum League is if you're on the cusp. Shut up, Buckstar. I know that's a genuine question. What about Korea League, though, Vibe? I don't want to hear it. Get out of here. Jesus. If you are fucking microing in Platinum and below, it's because you don't macro well enough to just steamroll your opponent. You're putting yourself in these situations because your macro is weak, where now you feel the need to have to micro. Because I'm telling you right now, I am fucking telling you right now, if I play Platinum players, I can win every single time without looking at my army once. I don't even have to look at my fucking army. I don't even have to control my army. I could just fucking A-move it and call it a day. And why is that a thing? Well, how come that works? It's not because I'm a GM player, because I'm obviously not playing like a GM player if I'm doing 0 micro. It's because I can macro at a pace that is going to overwhelm them. So if you think your fucking macro's good in Platinum League, take a fucking reality check. It's not. It fucking sucks, and you need to make it better. Work on your macro. Yeah, you're just falling too far behind. You're allowing this guy to have millions of dollars and you don't have enough. Your macro is good enough when Daddy Vibe says it. No, there is actually, there is a moment in the game when, again, you do need to start microing. And that moment is when you, this is the earliest it'll happen, okay? If you're in Platinum and you're about to make Diamond. If your MMR is now constantly making you play against Diamond players, having to micro a little bit is more relevant around then. Sure, I'll give it to you. That's like the bare minimum of needing to micro. But in general, Diamond League is the league that you need to start learning how to micro. Because I'm also telling you right now, just like I said a second ago, where you could beat someone in Platinum with 0 micro, you can beat people in, not everybody, but you can beat some people in Diamond League with 0 micro. You totally fucking can. There are some people in Diamond League that will die because, do you want to know? And then if you're wondering, Vibe, how the fuck does that make any sense, huh? Explain yourself. I don't understand. What does that even mean? There is a trend that players like to do where they think to themselves, I'm going to play the game my way. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the game the way I want to play it. And I'm going to do what I want. And I'm going to make my own styles. And I'm going to play my own kind of StarCraft. I'm going to make everyone else have to react to how I play. And no one's going to know what I do because I'm unique and I'm special. And then you know what it's like when someone does shit like that? They overcomplicate shit. The wheels fucking come off. And then their game kind of looks like shit sometimes. And players like that love to play crazy and kooky, and they get all over the place and they do weird shit. But their fucking their just raw efficiency of how they play the game sometimes sucks ass. And when someone's efficiency is at a low level, you can beat them with fucking a moving macro. That's just how the game works. So the next time you play that fucking guy in Diamond League, that's Terran, that's like, my natural is going to be in the corner of the map at a hidden base. Ha ha, fuck yeah. I'm going to go double port PCs. And behind it, I'm going to make 15 Widow Mines. Ha ha, what are you going to do about that? Meanwhile, at fucking 9 minutes in the game, the guy's on 74 supply. And you're like, Jesus. Holy fuck. This guy has like no supply. And you're like over there taking some damage from a battlecruiser. It's annoying. But the Terran's at 74 supply and you're at 150. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I can just A-move you now. Even though you have Widow Mines and BCs. And he's like, I'll take another hidden base on the other side of the map and you'll never know about it. I'm going to do this special strategy of building a command center in my main, floating it to the corner, and hiding a base. Kooky, crazy builds. And it's fucking true. People do that shit. Like this game. For instance, this is a perfect example. This Protoss had this game won. This Protoss literally had this game won. And do you know what he just did? He just made like fucking 30 disruptors. This guy's like, you know what's awesome? A disruptor. I love it. I love disruptors. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make 30 of them. My whole army is going to be disruptors. And then suddenly, Zerglings fucking A-move him and kill him. Like, yeah, I honestly thought Zerg was going to lose this game. But at this point, I could totally see Protoss quitting. Zerg is mined out. Zerg should lose. I'm just letting you know right now. But the replay does end in 1 minute. And he is finally going carriers now. So Protoss is probably going to win this game. I'm just throwing it out there. But he just lost his entire fucking army because he had nothing but disruptors. And like 20 stalkers, all disruptor. And he just got melted by Zerglings. Okay, and then obviously carriers come out and now Zerg quits because Zerg is like broke and Zerg has bad base counts. And it's fine. But people do crazy shit all the time. And in this game is an example of the Protoss who had the game won. He was in a great spot. And then he did something crazy. Like he made like 30 fucking disruptors in his army. Versus a Zerg just because he wanted to. He's having fun. It's a video game. He's doing what he wants. He's getting fucking crazy. But yeah. If you just have solid gameplay, solid foundational macro, you can genuinely destroy people almost 100% of the time, platinum and below, and like quite often still in Diamond League. Again, though, once you get to Diamond League, you will have games genuinely where you have to have some level of micro. And final little bit of information here. Why? Vibe. Why do you have to have... What makes Diamond League so special? Why do you have to have micro once you get to Diamond League? What is the reasoning there? Because when you get to Diamond League, that is when players, on average, will be able to execute a standard, efficient play style to a degree that is good enough to fucking steamroll you if you don't also do that. And if both players are doing it, now... whoever does a little bit of micro while doing that will be the person who wins. It's basically both players understand the concept of immovable object meets unstoppable force. It's like both players have that immovable object concept down where they're like, I can just straight up beat people who don't play efficient. Oh, me too. Oh, you too? Yeah, fuck yeah. Both of us know how to macro to a point where we can beat people who don't play efficient. So we now both kind of collide and we both don't really win the game now against each other, and it goes for 35 fucking minutes while we mine the map out because neither of us micros. But now suddenly, if either one of us can micro a little bit while maintaining the macro side of it, that person will probably win the game. So then that means you need to learn how to micro a little bit to be able to make it to take StarCraft to the next fucking step, while also working on your macro forever. Like, it never goes away. But you're at least able to do genuine builds okay in Diamond League. Not great, but you can at least make them look somewhat normal. And it's like, okay, this is efficient enough to be merited like a real build that needs to be microed against. It's not like fucking, like, you're scratching your head like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Floating a command center to the corner. You'll never know. I'm saving 4 orbitals worth of energy in my main to do a mule drop. You'll never suspect the jackpot strat. No, I wouldn't suspect that because it fucking sucks and no one cares. It's bad. It will only beat players that are also bad. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Much love. Good luck in your games. I'll see you next time. Peace. Bye-bye.